Hey, good Monday. No collusion, no obstruction. No, wait a minute. Darn, and I worked so hard to get that right. Good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. It is No Collusion, No Obstruction Monday. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the big show, right? I tell you what. Now, listen, I'm going to have to slow down. I'm telling you because, the Democrats have told me, and you out there, it's way too soon to spike the football. We don't need to be spiking the football. Josh, is that correct? Is it 52 degrees already this morning? Way to go, 8:01. All right, so we're not supposed to be spiking the football. Now, I'm watching basketball yesterday. I think I was watching North Carolina. I think the North Carolina game was on. Was that it? Breaking news. They broke right into my basketball game to tell me something I have known for 22 months. I've known it all along. You have known. Broke right into my game to tell me something. Tell me something good. Boom, boom. I'm sorry. It spiked We're going to. Now, if you're driving to work this morning and you're thinking the Democrat that sits in the cubicle to the right or the cubicle to the left, probably the one to the left, is going to like you today, you're wrong. If you're driving to work this morning and you think the Democrat to the left that works with you is going to come over and say, I owe you an apology, there was never any collusion, you're wrong. If you work with a Democrat today in the office and you walk in with an extra boomity boop in your step and you are high stepping and you're grinning and you even wear your mega hat in and you think, regardless, you're wrong. Ain't gonna happen. Media working on that right now. Telling us now it's what we know and what we don't know. What we know and are you so tired of, well, now there's things we know and what we don't know. I'm so tired of hearing that, but we're going to have a lot of fun today. Now, we're not supposed to spike the football, but we might. We may go there. Let me tell you a little bit we got going on today. First of all, let me just, on a sad note for the show, I always, I come on the show, and my dear friend, so many of you viewers are just dear friends, and my dear friend that was the first to tell me, and this weekend, of all weekends, for the Mueller report to come in, and what a week I would enjoy sitting on the side porch with a cheap cigar, with warm weather, calling my friend Frank. And Frank would always say, here's the thing, is they're all playing checkers and Trump's playing chess. He was the first to tell me that. He was the first to say that. And I've always give Frank the props that they're all playing checkers and Trump's playing chess. My good friend, he died last Thursday, and he'll be sorely missed. Kind of guy can call in the afternoon and just, he was so educated on the topics. Just, wow. Member of the research team. All right, let's move along here. At 9 o'clock, many of you, we're going to get right into the Mueller report. At 9 o'clock, many of you have been following in Towns County, Georgia, the death of Terry Silvers. A guy that was killed, that killed himself actually in, that's my opinion, in a car accident when he swerved across the road and hit a grandmother and her granddaughter together out for the evening. That was on a Saturday night. But the interesting thing, Friday night, he had a wreck on Friday night, and he was released. We don't know if he was impaired. We don't have a toxicology report, but there's a lot of things surround this story, Terry Silvers and his death. We've been investigating it. So we have three people coming up at 9 o'clock that we're going to start and are on camera interviews. Robin Webb has done a great job. If you go to fetchernews.com and you go to Towns County, but we're going to have Mark Silvers is going to be with us this morning. Terry's brother, Autumn Silvers, Terry's daughter, is going to be with us. And Heather Seegers, she is the one, 33,000. It has been listened to 33,000 times since FYN published the 911 call. And Heather is the 911 caller. She's going to be with us this morning as we start looking a little closer at that here on the show. All right, so it's time for Lindsey Graham to lower the boom. Now, I understand Lindsey Graham, lower the boom. You know, every time I think of lower the boom, you remember Stripes? You remember that when they had to go to graduation? Boom, shakalaka, laka, boom, shakalaka, laka, boom, shakalaka, laka, boom. Time for Lindsey Graham to lower the boom. Sorry if you can't take that out there. It's this kind of day. Mike, what day is it? What day is it? It's no collusion, no obstruction Monday, Mr. President. And we do now, officially, we can mark March 24th, 2019, the official date that Donald Trump finally won the presidency of the United States. I mean, seriously. I mean, did you hear anybody in the media that says this settles the election? Anybody? No, not a one. Did you hear anybody say this settles the election? We've indicted the people that bought the 100,000 Russian bots out there, the advertising, right? We got them. We'll get them in court one day. But I'm telling you right now, have you heard anybody this weekend say that on March 25th in the afternoon on a Sunday that finally it settles? Donald J. Trump won the presidency of the United States because of you, the voters out there, you, the dairy farmers in Wisconsin, you, the auto workers in Michigan, you, the coal miners in Pennsylvania. Because of you, the President of the United States won the election. There's a novel thought. This blows up so much for the Democrats. So much. But you did not hear this weekend that Hillary finally, will she come out and give another concession speech and say, this is it, I finally do accept. I know I've been around for 2 years going everywhere saying I can't accept the results, but I have no choice. All right, so moving right along, what we're going to do this morning is we're going to go over a lot of things that are out there, but I particularly looked at the media and their heads spinning off, all right? Now, some of you are digging deeper into the 4-page letter that William Barr wrote in response to the Mueller report. Now, the Democrats, we have to see it. We're going to say, like, you know, we all remember when the Democrats needed something from Mitch McConnell to say we needed to protect Mueller? I bet they don't want to protect him now, okay? The report, let's just go straight to this. Remember number 48, do you have that yet? Because if you don't, I can move to something else. All right, this is Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, okay? Remember when we needed things to protect him? Remember when, you know, we were worried that the president was going to fire Rosenstein? Not we. I mean, you know, the media was telling us we were worried about that. Remember all that? Now, let me say this, okay? Mueller, I don't know yet because there's a lot of questions surround this. And this is not on the Democrat side of questions, okay? I think there's a lot of us out here that are concerned with what Rosenstein was doing in there. A lot of us. I made many comments myself. A lot of us concerned with Bob Mueller, Robert, being appointed special counsel. But now let's remember, Trump doesn't say anything just because. Now, he'll tweet some things out. The President of the United States will tweet out some things to drive the media crazy. But Trump very seldomly says something that he doesn't have something happening in the background. You remember he tweeted out just a couple days ago, Bob Mueller was in his office the day before he was appointed special counsel. That makes this all the more interesting now. That's come from the President of the United States. Mueller was there the day before. The next day he becomes special counsel. Now, for those of you in the conspiracy theory world, hey, what if they were laying out how this was going to work? I'm just saying, let's just enjoy the morning and not get all sidetracked and crazy out there. So what if? And then Beauregard had to go. Because we know Beauregard, Jeff Sessions, former Attorney General, could not handle the release of this. He couldn't handle it. He could not handle the information that was coming through, and it was going to take an Attorney General. See, he had recused himself, right, Beauregard? And it was going to take an Attorney General that could release this in the legal manner, not that the Democrats understand that the Department of Justice, the authorization that they have to release it. So Rosenstein is over it, and then they bring in, for the new Attorney General, just think about the timing, okay, number 6, all right? Think about this timing. Special counsel declined to comment on Barr's summary. Okay? So the president meets, let's just have fun with this. President meets with Mueller the day before he becomes special counsel. Remember, fires were out, James Comey. We have to have what? The special counsel. Have to. Everybody have to. Then we have to protect Mueller. And then the Democrats, we don't have time here for the weeks on top of weeks. What, 22 months? 20 plus million, 30 million, whatever, of our taxpayer money for this. No collusion, no obstruction. But the Democrats, we don't have time, as I said, to go through all the Democrats that said, we must protect Mueller. We have to hear his report. We have to let him finish his work. Okay? But then on the other side, we're out here and we're a little concerned because, you know, we've got Mueller and Mueller's friend of Comey's, and, you know, we just keep the thinking. Mueller's friend of Comey's. Next thing you know, Rosenstein, we're a little concerned with him and some of the things he does and says. But then Bob Barr, William Barr, a friend of Mueller's, president picks him. Why does he pick Bob Barr? At the time, you see, you have Beauregard's gone. You have Whitaker. Oh my God, they put the heat on Whitaker. Oh my God, he'll defund. See, the funding for the special counsel comes from the Department of Justice. Well, he won't end it. He just won't give them the money to finish the job. None of this happened. All of the accusations made by the Democrats, the fears, we had to let this guy finish. He finished. But why Barr at the right timing to be the guy to hand it off from Mueller? Did Mueller send? I love, this is more fun than we can. Let's have fun. Did Mueller send word to the president or the Department of Justice, Rod Rosenstein, and said, look, if you want this thing handed off properly and taken care of like the Department of Justice should, there's a guy named Barr that we ought to hand it to. Just saying. What if? Don't you find any of this interesting? And then Barr and Rosenstein come out and say, hey, got no collusion. This guy heads in a report and says, look, obstruction, you know, you guys do what you want with that. I mean, this damn president tweets out 20 times a day. Hell, just do whatever you want with that. All right? I don't know. I can't tell you it is, but I'm not going to say it's not. And Rosenstein and this guy says, hey, it's not obstruction. Now, I'll make it that simple, but no collusion with the Russians. Now, as that's going on, the minute Friday they heard there were no more indictments. All right? Give me number 47. I mean, folks, their heads are... These two guys did not get indicted. Why? How? The big fish Kushner. I mean, you know why. You know why the last 2 weeks they've gone nuts over Kushner's security clearance? Because they don't have anything. And Don Jr., wasn't it that famous... let's see, where's he at here? Let me just get one of him there real quick. Number 15. Don't you remember? Now this is, down below are some of the captions there of CNN, MSNBC. You can read, this is 1:08 this morning, means 4 a.m. Questions linger in the wake of Mueller's report. Many Trump associates pleaded guilty while Trump himself is cleared. So remember the big news that they brought this guy in. They brought this guy in. What's his name again? Oh, I'm looking at him here. Cohen, right? Not Cohen. Yeah, Cohen. Right? They bring this guy in, and he says that Don Jr., he's in the office one day. And Don Jr., okay, Michael Cohen here. And let's go back to 47. Now, he's in the office one day, and Don Jr. come in and walked around the desk. And Cohen said, remember, and that was unusual because you did not walk around Donald Trump's desk. So unusual is a reason for. So Don Jr. said, the meeting has been set. The Trump Tower meeting that there's no evidence in, and we'll show you something in a minute. Kushner, these two guys did not get indicted. They're not going to prison. No family, okay? No Steve Bannon. No Reince Priebus. No Hope Hicks, you know? Remember Don McGahn? Remember the media going nuts? I mean absolutely nuts over Don McGahn, the former White House counsel, right? Don't remember Don McGahn, the former White House counsel to the president, and the left, the deep state media went nuts because McGahn he sat through what, 30 hours of testimony with Mueller? Nobody, folks, nobody, not one indictment in 22 months, okay? Not one indictment in 22 months about about Russian collusion. Not one. Not one indictment in 22 months surrounding obstruction. Not one. You remember Don McGahn, I told you, I said, this guy knows. He knows. Guess what? Don McGahn was the attorney for the Trump campaign. Don McGahn was attorney for Trump campaign. He was the attorney for the Trump transition team, okay? They're not going to find anything in the Trump transition or campaign finance. He was the attorney there, and then he went on to be chief counsel in the White House for 2 years. So the guy did about 4 years with Donald Trump. That might be rough. And he decided to go home, but the media. So there's so much here. They can't take it. I don't know why I didn't pull a picture. I may during the break, okay? I may during the break pull a picture. But the President of the United States played golf this weekend with Kid Rock, all right? Kid Rock. And I'm going to leave you 2 things before I take my break. He spent the weekend with Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, he spent the weekend with Lindsey Graham. President knew that Mueller report was coming in last week, didn't he? President let you know that John McCain, right? He knew it. And now he spent the weekend with Lindsey Graham. What does that mean? Lindsey Graham is the head, okay, of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Why is that important? Well, when Bob Barr, the Attorney General, sent out a letter, there was four people he was required to send it to. The House Chair, Gerard Nadler, the House Ranking Republican, Doug Collins, the Senate Chair, Judiciary Committee Chair, Lindsey Graham, and the Senate Ranking Committee member, Dianne Feinstein. The 4 names that were on there. And now, okay, it's up to Lindsey Graham to start what he needs to do. Let's play the president's response. Come back to me and then we'll go to break.
After a long investigation, after so many people have been so badly hurt, after not looking at the other side, where a lot of bad things happened, a lot of horrible things happened, a lot of very bad things happened for our country. It was just announced there was no collusion with Russia, the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. There was no collusion with Russia. There was no obstruction, and none whatsoever. And it was a complete and total exoneration. It's a shame that our country had to go through this. To be honest, it's a shame that your president has had to go through this before I even got elected. It began. And it began illegally. And hopefully somebody's going to look at the other side. This was an illegal takedown that failed. And hopefully somebody's going to be looking at the other side. So it's complete exoneration, no collusion, no obstruction. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hopefully somebody's going to be looking at the other side. Lindsey Graham, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. It's time. Let me show you one picture before we go to break. Number 49. That's the ranking member of the Republican member of the House Judiciary Committee, Doug Collins. And I wanted to put that up because he's probably sitting there thinking, which one will I release next? Which behind closed doors testimony will I release next? See, we've done Bruce Orr, we've done Lisa Page, we've put out Peter Strzok. Who will be next? That's what he's looking at. All right, take that off the screen. But before we go, March Madness is in full effect. How are your brackets doing? First of all, before I read this, okay, because this is a big, big sale that's going on right here in North Georgia. Before I read this, folks, Duke is only in the Sweet 16 because they won. And that's what it boiled down to. They did win. But is it Central Florida CFU, is that who it is, Josh? UCF, University of Central Florida, right? Hats off, man. Hats off. Duke should be going to the house. The number one of the number one should be going to the house, but Duke won. It didn't drop. It's basketball. They won. Now, talking about March Madness, don't forget, after this is the instant replay. Okay, North Georgia's only live online sports show, instant replay right after this. For sure, some discussion about the brackets will come up. But don't miss out on a March Madness sale. Up to 20,000, is this correct? I mean, I hope so. Up to 20,000 off on select F-150s, 7,200 off on new Ford Focus, and all new 18 models are clearly red tag marked and drastically reduced price to sell. They got to get them off there. Red tag sale on all used vehicles, all marked to sell. North Georgia Ford is the place to be. Make sure you get these before the end of March to get the savings of a lifetime. 0% interest or rebates available on almost new inventory. North Georgia Ford, don't miss out. Now that's some madness. That's March Madness, and it's at North Georgia Ford right now. I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back. We'll continue to analyze the head spinning of the left and some of their expressions. They're just like, this can't be real. And the ones that came out of the closet that tried everything they could, did you see that, for the last 22 months to try to act like journalists, and now they're just like, bam! All right, take us a break, Josh. Be right back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
We're all about truck discounts at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $14,000 off new Silverados or up to $8,000 off new Chevy Colorados. The new truck inventory is huge, but the discounts are even bigger, with thousands in savings guaranteed. So when you think trucks, think Days Chevrolet in Jasper, the North Georgia Mountain's #1 volume Chevy dealer, where new Chevy trucks cost less.
Better days ahead.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Hey, folks, we're back. We are back right here Monday morning. Now, don't forget, we're going to start at 9 o'clock. We're going to do a segment on the death of Terry Silvers in Towns County, Georgia. So we want you to stay with us after this hour. We will have Terry's brother, Mark. We will have his daughter with us on air. Will be with us, and that is Autumn, and then we'll have Heather Seegers, the 911 caller. So that's our 9 o'clock hour. You remember like $6 trillion ago, you remember that national debt, right? The deep state, okay? If you don't believe in the deep state now, we don't know what to do for you. Well, maybe you will when the investigation is done. I mean, the full investigation, and Lindsey Graham turns it around and looks at the illegal, because we want to see the FISA. I can't do this in the time on Monday, but we want to see the FISA court warrant. We want to see all of it, and we're going to. Remember $6 trillion and all of the effort made by then Secretary of State Colin Powell. You remember when we went around the whole world and we had all the intelligence communities gathered together, and we made there was a decision that there was weapons, that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Remember that? We knew he had weapons, right? Next thing you know, we spend $6 trillion, and it kind of didn't work out the way the deep state Bush family, the deep state warmongers, the deep state warmongers of John McCain's group there. It kind of didn't work out that way. But we were told, I mean, we had charts, we had graphs, we had all of the intelligence community. We spent $6 trillion. You know what? We knew all along there's no Russian collusion. See, Donald Trump did not, and I don't have enough time to do all, but folks, Donald Trump did not get off an airplane at like 12:58, all right, a.m. in Michigan on election day. Remember, the last one was election day. You can look this up. And it was outside of Detroit there somewhere, okay, and. Was it 18,000? Was it 18,000 people that were there at 12:58 in the morning, election day? He did not do that because he had the Russians behind him. And guess what? President of the United States is going to Grand Rapids, Michigan, Thursday. Can you wait for that one? Oh my God, he is going to be the Donald. Oh man, can you wait? It's going to be, it's going to be, I don't even know, I don't have words. I'm at a loss. Thursday, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, you know what? You spent millions. You probably spent enough to pay off how many, I would like to use it in like, how many college loans? Bernie Sanders, how many college loans would you have paid off with this Mueller report? How many college loans? Just saying. How many little babies that had been ripped from their mothers and put in the cages on the border, Democrats, could you not have put in five-star hotels with this money we spent on the Mueller report? The list goes on and on. Start thinking about what you could have done with the money. Could have paid off the car. Goes on. You see, you don't have the money, you don't go on vacation. They spend your money and they still go on vacation. 2,800 subpoenas. They're not happy. They can't 2,800 subpoenas, 500 search warrants, 230 orders of communication records, 500 witnesses interviewed in 13 countries. Why, how come they didn't look at Michael Cohen's trip to Prague? 500 witnesses in 13 countries. Okay? You know the last investigation they did that came up empty? Was that Brett Kavanaugh? Do you remember the Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh? They had nothing. They fabricated witnesses. They fabricated victims. They fabricated everything. And actually, that is one of the major reasons they no longer, they lost seats in the Senate. Okay? But you remember that? And then they had to have an investigation. Democrats love to have an investigation and love to say we need to see what the FBI says, and then the scope wasn't big enough, and there wasn't enough people, and this wasn't big enough, and there wasn't enough time, and but remember Christine Blasey Ford, we had to have that Jeff Flake, Chris Coons kumbaya investigation before they could feel comfortable. Nothing came out of it. Absolutely nothing. This investigation, nothing came out of it. So, weaponize the report. Did you hear last week everyone in the media, I'm not joking, how many of them in the media, Democrats, saying weaponize the report, weaponize it. The Republicans, Trump, they will try to weaponize the report. And I kind of caught that they would actually use the word weapon, all right? Now, Beto O'Rourke feels the world will end. Yeah, he does. I mean, they asked him right when it broke, he's somewhere, and he did not know what to say. Francis O'Rourke did not know what to say. And it came to him that, well, the world will just probably end. The world could end any day. That's your answer, right? So anyhow, the world could end any day with Beto O'Rourke. They're trying to weaponize the report. Let's play the other clip that we have. The Republicans are ready, man. This is just one of many that's getting ready to roll out, and they're rolling them out now. Okay, folks, first of all, let's go through a couple things here and look at, now this is the old, let's go to 46. I forget her name, but look at this lady, look at this poor lady Sunday on State of the Union with CNN. Look at that. I mean, and look at Bullfrog. That's old Bullfrog Nadler. I mean, Bullfrog was on, he was on Chris Wallace. He doesn't know what to say. I mean, he is tore up. Coons is tore up. Adam Shifless is tore up. These people are tore all to pieces. Look at their sourpusses. Look at her. They're broke up. Congress bitterly divided over Barr's summary. Nadler, Judiciary Committee will call Attorney General to testify. Okay, that's one. Now, this guy here, and I want to bring this guy up for a reason, okay? He was on Fox, all right? He was on Fox News, and we don't have time right now to say how concerned I am with Fox News. This guy was on Fox News. He could not take the atmosphere there. He could not read the news the way they wanted him to. And this guy here, number 39, look at his face. This is David Briggs, okay? And David Briggs is supposed to be on at 4 a.m. with Christine Roma or whatever. At 4 a.m., Department of Justice Mueller report did not establish conspiracy. Mueller doesn't conclude Trump obstructed but doesn't exonerate him. And that's what they started. Now, what you watch is you watch Chris Matthews, which I watch Chris Matthews, and you watch Rachel Maddow cry. These are their nightly shows. You watch them. But what's funny with CNN and MSNBC, to watch their newscasters, the ones that are supposed to be doing the hour where it's news, and they can't take it. Briggs broke down this morning. I mean, he just did. He's lost it. It's very easy watching him every morning, as liberal as he is, David Briggs, but it tore him up this morning to bring that report. Anger. I mean, you could see the anger. Okay, let me go through. We're going to go through really quick. Number one, because we have to go to break. Okay. Number one, Axios, Trump eyes vengeance. Okay, this is what they're looking for. Now, there's nowhere this morning. Now, America, this should be a unifying statement today. Now, before I go to break, this should be unifying news. This should unify the country. We should be happy, Republicans and Democrats, that we truly know that where are the reports this morning that our democracy is not crumbling? Okay? Where are the reports? Where are the reports that the democracy and the republic is safe for which it stands? I'm here to report to you the republic for which it stands, the union is good. Where is any of that reporting this morning? Where is the reporting that says it's official, Donald Trump actually won the election, and it worked? Our founding fathers would be happy to know the Electoral College, the votes were not altered by a foreign government, and there was no collusion, and it worked. Where is any of that reporting? No, it's Trump eyes vengeance. Let's go to number two. This should be a day of glee and happiness for the country. They should give you a day, but no, Mueller's investigation, guilty pleas. They got to remind you. Questions linger. This is at 1:08 this morning. They've gone over and over, but in the list of pictures that you see there, guess what? Not one related to the President of the United States. Not one of those indictments, convictions, or anything, even the piece of garbage Michael Cohen, okay, is not one is related to Trump, the campaign, obstruction, nothing with the Russians, okay? What's next? The investigation in the Trump world. Number three, okay? What's next? This is CNN, man. They can't take it. Trump's still facing legal challenges. This messed them up so bad. Ongoing investigation, Roger Stone's criminal trial. The hush money investigation. Trump's inauguration finances. Trump's organization insurance practices. He, said things. Trump's organization business loans. Well, we have to have those tax returns. Now, they're going to tell you every day how the Southern District, now Trump got out of this one with Mueller, and there'll be investigations in Congress, but the Southern District of New York. Let me tell you, there's a couple reasons, and you may agree or disagree with this, but one of the things, unless you grew up around that New York media market, they have a strong Channel 4, they have a strong 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock news. They got a really strong news cycle up there. And what they would enjoy most of all is the Southern District bringing him down nationally, but really the Southern District embarrassing him at home on a daily basis. Because they love that. I lived there when it was D-Day and the city was going to go down, and when, Mayor Ed Koch, and there was a disaster every day. They can't wait to take one of their favorite sons down in that media market, just one of the many things, okay? Obstruction of justice, number 4, okay? Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and I have concluded that the evidence developed during the special counsel's investigation is not sufficient to establish that the president committed an obstruction of justice offense. That's him and Rod Rosenstein. They've been following all along. Number 5, the special counsel states that while the report does not conclude the president committed a crime, it does not exonerate him. That's not their job. Let me see if I can get another one here. This was great, folks. Their heads are spinning off. Number 10. I cannot wait for 6 a.m. this morning to get, I cannot wait till 6 a.m. this morning to get a good look at, what's that lady's name? Stretch what? That's the only way I can remember. Minka Brzezinski and Gumby there, Joe. Mueller finds no Trump-Russia conspiracy. I love that this morning, 6:01. They had to drag, this is the kind of people they're dragging in, number 11, okay? There you go, Billy Crystal, Billy Crystal, whatever the hell his name is. This never Trumper loser that has been around ABC, Fox News, CBS, you name it. Now his low point is MSNBC, and they bring him in, okay? Look at the face on this mug of this lady in Orlando, Florida, number 12. She is somebody else they brought in. She is a special attorney slash I know everything. And there's Minka and Joe. Mueller report finds no Trump-Russia conspiracy, but collusion. No collusion on obstruction. And look at her face. I mean, they're just trying to figure it out this morning. But then they bring in number 13, and Joe could not stand it because Jay Sekulow just knocked it out of the park this morning with Morning Joe. I mean, there was Jay Sekulow on there with the president, knocking it out of the park. And let's see if there's anybody. Number 16, the shifting shift right there. Okay. Let me see what else I want to put up here. Here's the Democrats' response. This was on Fox News. I clipped it out. Number 20. Okay. This is like, remember the day when Schumer and Pelosi shared the podium in their response? Attorney General William Barr's letter raises as many questions as answers. Number 21, the fact that special counsel Mueller's report does not exonerate the president on a charge as serious as obstruction of justice, number 22, demonstrates how urgent it is that the full report be underlying documentation be made public without any further delay. Okay? Now here's the thing. Here's the reason why they're yelling, got to have the full report, because they're pretty sure they know legally Barr can't release the full report. And if they yell full report loud enough right now, then when he doesn't release every single sentence, they will go back and say, well, there's still things we have not seen in the report, knowing good and well they can't. I'm your host, BKP. March Madness, we're going to take a break because let's first, you got the March Madness, our sale. Do you have? You couldn't get the text? All right, okay, that's fine. Put up that picture there, March Madness sale right now at, okay, you got a slide there, a picture we can put up. All right, put that up right there. Folks, you don't want to miss this, okay? North Georgia Ford, Blue Ridge, Georgia, March Madness, up to $20,000 off manufacturer suggested retail price on Ford F-150s. This is a big sale right here going on at North Georgia Ford. They called us up and said, hey, we want to know if we could blast this out. I'll tell you what, It was spring. It's spring. It feels good, and it's probably time to buy that Ford F-150 you've been wanting to buy. We're going to take a brief break. Come back to me. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we're going to start talking about Towns County, the death of Terry Silvers when we return. And then after we finish that report, we're going to come back and finish up our not obstruction, not collusion Monday for the President of the United States. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
We're all about truck discounts at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $14,000 off new Silverados or up to $8,000 off new Chevy Colorados. The new truck inventory is huge, but the discounts are even bigger with thousands in savings guaranteed. So when you think trucks, think Days Chevrolet in Jasper, the North Georgia Mountain's #1 volume Chevy dealer, where new Chevy trucks cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now we have our first caller going to be at 9:08 this morning, so we got just a couple minutes, and we'll have Mark Silvers on the line with us. Before we start, let me set this up. Tragically, on Saturday, February 23rd, Terry Silvers, 52 years old, resident of Hiawassee, died in a fatal car accident. And at the time when he had his car accident that night, on that Saturday, February 23rd, he hit head-on Tracy Stewart, a grandmother in North Carolina, with her 13-year-old granddaughter. Ms. Stewart has had, and we'll get into the details, Ms. Stewart has had multiple surgeries, okay, crushed her hand, has had to have several surgeries, and like I said, we'll get into those details. In fact, Stewart was transported to North Georgia Medical Center in Gainesville for specialized treatment. Stewart has faced 3 arm surgeries now, losing 3.5 inches of bone, and a medical pin was placed in her fractured foot. Fortunately, Stewart says her granddaughter did not suffer major physical damages, but is my understanding, our understanding here at FYN, that she's struggling emotionally with what happened that night. Now, the reason we're doing this story in Towns County is we're looking at how it was handled by the Towns County Sheriff's Office, because the night before, the 23rd, on a Friday night, Terry Silvers had an accident and ran off the road. There is a body cam. I have watched the entire body cam. I've taken notes on it. I watched it twice, about 37 minutes. He ran off the road, and there's a lot of questions surrounding should he have been allowed to drive away on Friday night? Should he have been allowed to drive away on Friday night to be able to drive Saturday when he died? Well, you know, we're not here this morning. We want to be clear. We're not here this morning, or are we able to draw that full determination at fyntv.com. But what we'd like to do is we'd like to open up the discussion a little bit, and hopefully maybe the Towns County Sheriff's Office, by Towns County Sheriff Chris Clinton, will do their own internal investigation concerning this, what happened Friday and Saturday. And this possibly is a part of some bigger things, possibly within the Sheriff's Office, that we're not aware of at this time. So we're going to have 3 interviews this morning. We're going to have, first of all, we're going to have Mark Silvers. Mark is the brother, Terry Silvers' brother. We're going to have Autumn Silvers, that is his daughter, Terry Silvers' daughter. And then Heather Seegers at 9:35 will round out our interviews this morning. She is the one that called 911 behind Terry Silvers that night, followed him into North Carolina that Saturday night. And that 911 call has been listened to through our website 33,000 times. Okay, so this is a story that whether anybody wants to acknowledge it in the Towns County Sheriff's Office is something of very big interest to the residents of Towns County. And so as soon as, what we're going to do here, so you know, as soon as we get our callers on the line, Josh is going to give me a thumbs up, let me know we have our caller, all right? And after that, we're just going to take like a 15-second break to make sure, so don't go anywhere. We're just going to show our card for 15 seconds just to make sure that the caller can hear me. So we're awaiting our first caller. Until we do, also, we have not invited, okay, our caller's on the line, so just give us 15 seconds here. Okay, could you put Terry Silver's picture up here? This is the gentleman that died on February 23rd. This is Terry Silver's on the screen. We're going to keep him up here through our interviews. We now have on the line with us Mark Silvers, Terry Silver's brother. Mark, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
First of all, we want to say, we're sorry for the loss of your brother. And we know your family at this time is going through a lot, and especially through everything that went on. So we wish you and the entire family well through this time of grieving for your brother Terry.
I appreciate that.
Let me ask this now. There's a lot of things surrounding this story, and we'll take it easy. I watched the body cam. Okay, now are you the one that showed up that Friday night to pull Terry's truck out?
No, that was my brother Travis.
All right, so that was not you, but your brother Travis went to pull
Yes,
it
sir.
out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, you were not with Mark. You were not with Terry that night, but Terry had suffered throughout the years. I guess he just could not totally break the addiction of drugs in his life. Is that something that your whole entire family had to deal with all these years with Terry?
Yes, sir, it was. It sure is. We tried to get him help. He went to drug court and all that, and I just felt like that night before he got killed, the night before he got killed, that anybody in the right mind would have seen that there was something wrong with him.
All right, so he did go to drug court. Now, how long ago was that he went to drug court?
Probably about 2 years ago, a little over.
All right, so how long was he out of drug court before he relapsed and got back on drugs? And can you tell us what kind of drugs Terry was involved with?
Well, I don't know exactly what and everything he was on, but I know he went to the methadone clinic over there.
Methadone clinic.
Yeah.
And how long was it after he got out of drug court before he started back?
It was probably a month.
So it wasn't long after the graduation he was right back abusing drugs.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me ask you this: on that Friday, now Terry cut firewood and delivered firewood every day. Is that what he did?
Well, most of the time when people would call him, but me and him worked together most of the time.
Did the Friday night that he had the firewood on the truck, did you see him before he left that night? Now, this is the Friday night on the accident. Did you see him before he left?
Is that the night he got killed or the night before?
No, night before. The when he had the accident on Friday night.
Up here on Buckscuffle?
Yes.
Yes, I seen him all day, and he was pretty high.
He was all right. What? Now, how do you know? Because the deputy that was there that night. I'm not asking you because I don't think you're intelligent enough. I don't misunderstand that. But how do you know when somebody's high? Have you just been around Terry that long?
Yeah, well, I'll just be honest. I used to be that way myself, but not like he was, and I paid my prices, and I've been straight for 16 months now, almost 19 months, but I never was like he was because, I've got health problems. But anyhow, my brother, when he got on stuff, he just lost his mind, couldn't drive everywhere he go, and a lot of times I went with him trying to get him not to drive, but I couldn't do it. And then, like you said, when he wrecked, people, the law let him go, so I figured if I called the law on him, they'd let him go again. So, but Terry was the type that when he got on stuff, he'd misplace stuff, just couldn't correspond out in the world. People talked to him and he'd cuss them out, But Terry, I knowed when he was on it because he'd fall asleep half the time when he'd like that, just fall over.
So on that Friday night, not the night he got killed, on that Friday night, you saw him before he left. What about once he got pulled out and got back home? Were you still under the impression that Terry was on something as far as drugs?
Yeah, because he come home and said, Mark, I'm going to be honest. I think the reason that officer said it was shift of wood, but anybody in their right mind could look at him when he was asking the officer about, do you have this number or that number, who here lives, and when he sat there like he was on the phone, you could tell he was kind of wobbling a little bit, and not on that, when he come home, he told me, I'll just be honest, Mark, I fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
Yeah.
Do you think that wood shifted? Because I looked at the truck when it went over when it went down over the side. Do you think that's what shifted it to the left? Because he claims it shifted when he was on the road.
No. I've rode with Terry too many times, and I know when something shifts and when it's not. Even if that is going too fast, but when you look at where he wrecked at, you could tell he was in the straight. And there's no way you could have shifted the wood and run off the road like that unless or you're going too fast or something was wrong.
All right. Well, the last question I have: Was that the same load of wood on the truck Saturday night when he got killed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that load on Friday night that supposedly shifted, that load was still on the truck Saturday night. He drove around with that same wood.
Yeah, and we don't know today where he was headed to North Carolina because he come home wanting us to go with him to show him sell it here and sell it there, but he never had it sold. He was just trying to get it sold. But why he went that way, we have no idea.
All right, now the Saturday that he got killed that night in Hayesville, North Carolina, did you see him that Saturday?
Yeah, he was around the house all day. We tried to get him to not leave the house, but what could we do, you know?
Well, so when he left the house Saturday, you knew he was intoxicated with drugs on that Saturday.
Yes, sure did. Yeah.
When you say you tried to get him not to leave, what would he say to you?
He'd say,
what would he get? Would he get? Well, I mean, yeah. Go ahead. What would he say?
He would just get ill and do this and threaten you and all that and cuss you, call you every name in the book. And I told him that night when he wrecked up here on Buckscup, I said, Terry, what's it going to take for you, son? I said, killing somebody or letting this whatever you're taking control your life, or it'd end up in the grave. And it wouldn't. 3 hours later, he got killed.
Well, now the sheriff's office released the body cam, which I did watch, and it seemed as though. What did your other brother, the brother that went and pulled him out, does he feel the same way as?
Yeah, he knowed he was on something too. That's right. When that cop said you don't need to be a driver anymore, my brother just laughed, but he didn't want to say nothing, you know, because he didn't want to get involved in it.
He didn't want to get involved. Well, Well, look, we appreciate you coming on. Is there something, while we're on the air, is there something you wanted to share? Because we have other people coming on.
Well, yeah, sure. I feel like that officer, and I thought, as my understanding of the night that he got killed, that when the Bono come out, it was him, the 112 is what my understanding. He'd done been to 2 wrecks, and I believe in my heart when that Bono come out, he heard it. And he seen who it was and didn't want to respond. I really believe that, and I'll go to my grave believing it.
So I do know this from the body cam. It is correct that 112, that I understand from the body cam, that Deputy 112 that night that was the second time he had responded to a wreck with Terry.
Yes, sir, and my truck, I don't understand why either. My truck, when I was in jail a couple of years ago, back in 2018 or 17, I forget which it was, he told it, I just talked to him 4 times that day, begged him to not to be a driver, and he said, I'm fixing my truck. He tried to take my gas tank off and everything because he thought it was the fuel pump, and it wasn't the fuel pump. But that night he wrecked, that was the night he left the scene of the accident, and the law was called, even the one where he wrecked, that call personally, I guess, to the main sheriff's office, wanting to speak to the sheriff, but unfortunately, she said they didn't call back, and even people told him he leaving the scene of the accident, but we don't understand, 911's got the records, but the sheriff's office ain't, so I don't understand that myself.
All right, so let me just finalize this because I got to go, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you for coming on this morning, but what I hear you saying is the officer, is your words, basically, the officer has dealt with Terry so many times and even said that night he needed to stop driving. And your opinion is that he knew it was Terry that night and he just didn't want to fool with him?
Yeah, I actually believe that. I really do. And not only that, in that cam, you could tell that record service when he come and asked that cop if he was on something, and you know, and the common sense, if he can tell, that cop should have known, you know.
Okay. Mark, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I've got somebody else coming on in 1 minute.
That'll be fine.
Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Okay,
Thank
folks,
you.
You're welcome, Mark. Okay, folks, we're going to wait for our next caller, and we should be getting another call here. That was Mark Silvers, brother of Terry, and on the screen is Terry, and our next caller is supposed to be Autumn Silvers, Terry's daughter, so we'll wait for that, and then after that we'll take a brief break, and then we'll have our 911 caller, and after our 911 caller, I'll give you a little summary of which way we're going with this story and what's going on here. So again, we're awaiting our 9:20 caller. Josh is supposed to let me know here. And again, on February 23rd, that night, Terry Silvers, did you give me a thumbs up? Okay, we have our next caller, so give us about 10 seconds. Don't go away. Let's go, Josh. Okay, we're back. We're going to put up again. This is Terry Silvers. Terry Silvers died in a tragic accident February 23rd. Joining us now is his daughter, Autumn Silvers. First of all, Autumn, thank you for being on the show, and we want to extend our sincere sympathy, and condolences to you and your family for all you're going through at this time and the loss of your dad.
Thank you very much.
Autumn, let me ask you a question. I just had Mark, his brother, on. Now, as far as your father's concerned, that night on February 23rd, are you aware of the magnitude and the frequency that he abused drugs?
I don't think it was a secret. My dad's lifestyle, I don't think it was a secret from anybody. He did struggle with substance abuse for a very long time, so I think a lot of us did know, actually.
So basically, everybody in the community, I get the impression, and not trying to editorialize our discussion, but I get the impression that Terry was a great guy. He just could not get rid. I watched the body cam. He seems like a great guy, but just could not get past this drug addiction. Am I going in the right direction there?
Yeah, we all have our demons, and I just think that Dad could never get rid of his. He was clean here and there, but ultimately he always faded back to old habits.
All right, so he did go to drug court, and he did graduate from drug court. How long after drug court did he start abusing drugs again?
To be honest, I don't really have an answer for that. I never lived around. I lived 2 hours away, so I wasn't, there all the time. I would say it was at least a year and a half afterwards. Mark would probably know better than I would about the actual relapse time after drug court.
Okay, now what is as far as talking to all of your family, what is the general consensus of the family and yourself on the 23rd? Do you feel that your dad not on the 23rd, on the 22nd, obviously on that Friday night when he had the accident, is it your understanding from the family and what you know is that your dad was impaired that night with drugs?
I don't want to speak for the whole family because I do know some people have different views, but I think for the majority of the ones I have spoken to, I do think we all believe that he was impaired that night.
And I've talked to Mark this morning right before you, and your other uncle, I forget the name, that actually pulled the truck out, and Mark said that he also felt that your father, Terry, was impaired that night and should not have been driving. Is that what they have shared with you?
Yes, I do know that Uncle Mark and Travis shared the same views, as well as other cousins, that he was impaired and should not have been driving. Not even just that wreck. There were several wrecks before the night before that could have been prevented where he was impaired and had wrecked also.
Now I've not talked to you, so have you watched the body cam footage?
I have watched parts of it. I haven't watched it all the way through.
Okay, so when you watch the body cam footage and see your dad, Now, law enforcement, I can't make a judgment on whether law enforcement did the right thing that night or not, and that's something that could be investigated. But as far as you, his daughter, do you see the body cam footage and look at your dad and think, oh my God, dad's pretty rough tonight, or what was your impression when you started to see him on the body cam footage?
There were I didn't watch most of it, so it's hard to form a big opinion, but I did see some parts where he was definitely out of it. At one point, he asks if they can tow his house back to the house instead of his truck. He's just, he looks really scared. I don't know what exactly to say because I didn't watch it all.
Well, your uncle said he immediately told him that night that he was asleep when he had the accident. He fell off to sleep, and maybe this accident, woke him up, and he was, really startled, in that video.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question now. Obviously, the officer let him drive away, and it's yet to be seen. Have you been involved with the toxicology report and the autopsy? Have you been involved in that as his daughter? Do you know any details on that part of the investigation over on the North Carolina side?
Last I heard that we were still waiting on a toxicology report. I'm not sure whether or not they actually did do an autopsy, but I do know we are waiting on the toxicology report.
Has anybody give you any indication of how long that would be?
Last I heard, when he first passed away, that it was going to be a month after, so should be coming up soon.
On Saturday, when you found out that your dad had been killed in a car accident, what was your first thought? And as this is unraveled and you're reading things and you hear the 911 caller, what was your first thought Saturday night as you're finding out your dad has been killed in a car accident?
I actually got the call when I was at work, so I was in a lot of shock, but probably about 15 minutes later, after I found out, I had texted my cousin, who I'm really close with, that let me know that he passed away, and I knew that it was a car accident before she told me, just because, it was his thing, kind of.
I understand. The last thing is your uncles after the car accident. Did they tell you the same thing concerning that Saturday night and your father's death, that they felt he was out driving and should not have been on that Saturday, as they did tell you the same thing about the accident on Friday?
Definitely, even more so on Saturday. It was definitely known that he was not fit to drive Saturday.
Have you asked the Towns County Sheriff's Office for an answer on why they let your dad go that Friday night?
I think it's just kind of in the works. I don't really live up there. I think we want to get around to that at some point. It's just a lot going on all at once from social media and everybody commenting, and something we will eventually want to get to, but it's just difficult timing. But definitely that is a question that needs to be answered.
Okay, well, Autumn, listen, we want to thank you so much for joining us. You've been very helpful. We're sorry about, again, the loss of your father, and we wish you well. And, if any other information comes up you want to share with us, you know how to get in touch with us.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, we've had Autumn Silvers on the line. It's Terry's daughter, and Mark Silvers, his brother. Now, when we return, we're going to take a brief commercial break, and when we return, we're going to have Heather Seegers. Now, who is Heather? Heather is the one that made the 911 call that Saturday night, followed Terry all the way into North Carolina. You probably listened to the 911 call 33,000 times that it's been listened to. You're probably one of them. You're going to meet Heather right on the other side of this commercial. We're going to take a brief break, and then we'll talk to her about that night that she followed the same thing with the Bolo, and then after that I'll have a brief wrap-up on this story and the next direction we're going in with it. I'm your host, BKP, FYNTV.com. Take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
We're all about truck discounts at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $14,000 off new Silverados or up to $8,000 off new Chevy Colorados. The new truck inventory is huge, but the discounts are even bigger with thousands in savings guaranteed. So when you think trucks, think Days Chevrolet in Jasper, the North Georgia Mountain's #1 volume Chevy dealer, where new Chevy trucks cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Hey folks, I'm your host BKP, and we're back. Good morning from the office, and this morning we're discussing the February 23rd, the night that Terry Silvers, right there on the screen, lost his life, injuring two others in a car wreck. Now that night, on Saturday night, Heather Seegers called 911. And the 911 call on YouTube has been listened to 33,000 times.
Wow.
Heather joins us now. Heather, how are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I can't complain. Let's start with, let me ask you a couple questions before the actual 911 call. Now, before that night, how well did you know Terry Silvers?
I didn't know him personally. I mean, I knew him because I've lived here all my life. I've known the whole family. I've never, hung out with Terry, but I knew him. I mean, he was, everybody knows the Silvers. We've lived here all our lives. So that's how I knew him.
Okay, so you didn't really know him personally, but you knew him. In knowing him and his family, did you know the struggle that Terry had with drug addiction? Were you aware of that before Saturday night?
Yes, sir.
So you were aware that Terry struggled with drugs and maybe should not have been driving. Is that your thought?
Yes, sir.
Now go ahead.
But let me make something clear here too. I'm a recovering addict too, so and I struggle still. So I feel for Terry and I feel for the family because I can't imagine what they are going through. This is just awful.
Now let me go through the 911 call that night. Where did you see Terry's white truck? And
Go ahead.
Where did you see Terry's white truck, and when did you start following him?
I was coming from Hiwassee, going toward Young Harris, right at Aaron. Oh gosh, that auto store right before you get to Papa's Pizza in Hiwassee. It was right before there. I was in the slow lane and Terry was in the fast lane, and he came over on my side and about ran me off the road. And I just thought, well, maybe somebody might be texting or just wasn't paying attention.
Right.
And then when he about ran me off the road, he went on on oncoming traffic and about hit a couple cars. And I knew right then something was wrong. So I maybe right at Papa's Pizza, maybe in between Papa's Pizza and the theater is when I called 911. And that's when I noticed he was all over the road and going on to oncoming traffic. And I was like begging them to please, please just help get him off the road before he kills somebody.
Okay, so you did call 911, and you were passionately asking the 911 operator to help try to get this guy off the road, and then you pulled into the corner store there at the bottom of Young Harris Mountain. Is that the corner store where you pulled in?
Yes, sir. He when when the law came out at the red light there going toward Hiawassee, Terry jerked into the Cornerstone, and so I jerked into Cornerstone behind him, and I told the 911 caller, I was like, "There's the law right there. Where are they going?" Well, they're going on another call. So Terry stopped, got out of his truck, and went in the store. And that's when he got out of the truck. That's when I realized I knew who he was. And
So you saw law enforcement. Were they following you and Terry?
no, sir. They were coming like from Hayesville to the red light, and then turn left to go into Hiawassee.
Okay. So now in the 911 call, you seemed to beg with Terry not to get back into the truck. Were you able to tell, and I want to say this, I know professionally we're not law enforcement and we can't do, any drug testing, but just in your experience, were you able to tell Terry was impaired and should not be driving, or were you just begging him not to drive because some kind of other difficulty that night? What did you see that you were begging Terry not to get back in his car?
When he got out and he was walking, and when he was staggering, and when I got out to talk to him, I did not smell alcohol on him, so I knew it wasn't alcohol. And I've always known Terry not to drink, so I knew it wasn't alcohol. I knew it had to be something else, but I don't know what it was, but I knew it was something. And he told me that he was okay, and I knew he wasn't.
So you continued to beg him not to get back into the truck and drive, and we could hear that on the 911 call. And then he pulls out. When did you hear the siren go by? How long had you heard the siren go by that he was still at the store?
Oh, I heard it as soon as Terry jerked into the Cornerstone. I even seen I'm sure he's seen them. I seen the law coming before he got to the red light.
So do you think that's one of the reasons Terry darted into the corner store to get off the road?
I think so. I really do.
Now, obviously, when law enforcement and we can't make a decision of what they saw that night and what they were actually doing, but just in your thought, do you think when the law enforcement went by, they were able to see clearly Terry's truck and you there, or do you think they were just way too big of a hurry to notice the truck? Were you out in plain view to where law enforcement that went by to a call?
Yes, yes. With all the lighting around the stores, yes.
They could see in plain view that Terry's truck was sitting there.
If they couldn't see it sitting there, then they shouldn't be driving. Is all I have to say about that.
Okay, so you pulled out and continue to follow Terry towards the North Carolina line. And you were passionately saying he's going to kill somebody, we need to get him off the road. But the bolo went out, the be on the lookout went out. Were you able to hear the dispatcher give the bolo when you're on the phone? Are you able to hear that or not able to hear that?
Yes, I was.
So when the bolo came out, did you feel the dispatcher was clear enough that, hey, this is Terry Silvers, we need to try to get him off the road. How clear do you feel the bolo that went out that night described Terry's truck, Terry, and him needing to be off the road?
To be honest, I cannot remember. I do remember one time telling them the subject was Terry Silvers.
So you did tell the dispatcher it was Terry Silvers.
Oh yes, I did. As soon as I seen him at Cornerstone, that's when I told them who it was.
Okay, now you followed Terry into North Carolina, and was he weaving all over the road all the way into the state of North Carolina?
Oh God, yes. Yes, I counted six times from when he pulled out of Cornerstone. I counted 6 times that he about hit people head on.
And then when he got into North Carolina, he swerved over and hit this car head on. And I don't want to bring us back up, and I'm so sorry, but you're the one on the 911 call said it's too late, he's gone. And
I also told him. I told y'all to hurry.
Okay. All right. Well, let me double back a little bit now. Since the call has since you made that 911 call, have you been in contact with the sheriff's office? Have they interviewed you? Have they called and said, "Hey, we want you to come in and interview you"? I mean, has the sheriff's office contacted you in any way whatsoever?
No, sir. Not from Towns County at all. So, I have had one deputy from Clay County to message me on Facebook and ask me how I'm doing. Not any deputy or the sheriff from Towns County has asked to interview me, talk to me, or anything.
So nobody from Towns County Sheriff's Office has said, "Hey, we'd like to bring you in and just get you to tell us a little more other than just the 911 call about that night and what it was," nothing like that?
No, sir, they have not.
So you've not heard if they're doing any kind of investigation concerning that night?
No.
When did you become aware that Terry wrecked the night before Friday night on, is it Bug Scuffle? I hope I get that right.
Yeah. I found that out when I went to the memorial service when Mark told me.
Oh, so you were not aware that night that he had wrecked the night before?
No, sir, not until I went to the memorial.
Do you know, let me ask you really quickly, do you know Towns County Sheriff Deputy Greg Joseph? Do you know him?
I know of him. Yes, sir.
Okay. He is car 112.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Since the accident, has anyone else contacted you? I mean, have you? There's a lot of social media. Have you experienced any threats concerning the 911 call? Has anybody, lashed out at you about the call and doing interviews? Have you experienced anybody putting pressure on you?
Yes.
And who would that be?
I would rather not say. You know what? I really don't care. I don't know. Chris Clinton, the sheriff, I don't know if it was him or his wife Crystal, sent me a very nasty message, posted it on Facebook, but took it down. But
I do have a copy of that.
Okay. Yes.
Did they? Now, when we say that, this is on Towns County Sheriff Chris Clinton's Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
It looks as though, what we're going to say is it looks as though he wrote the message. He may not have.
I think it was her, his wife.
Your accusation is his wife. Do you mind if I read that?
No, you go right ahead.
Because I have that. I just wanted to make sure that this was really a message that you received. Heather Lynn Chastity Seegers, I remember the midnight calls from your mama begging Chris to pray with her for you and asking about, and I guess that is somebody else because she's talking about Chris in another tense here, Chris to pray with her for you and asking about what happened to you regarding your indiscretions.
Right.
And to this day, both of you have patted him on the back while both of you stab him.
Exactly.
That's the message you received?
Yes, sir.
So your feeling is whoever wrote this feels you're stabbing them in the back about this call on that's 911 call that night?
Yeah. Yeah, because I have let it known, and I have voiced my opinion about the negligence of Towns County deputies of not trying to get him off the road, especially when the deputy drove by, and I know dang well he saw us.
Well, Heather Seegers, I appreciate you very much. We're closing up at the 10 o'clock hour. I got a couple other things I've got to do before I finish up my show this morning. I can't thank. Is there any last word or anything you wanted to say this morning that you wanted to make sure that our viewers were able to hear from you before we go?
Well, I just want to tell the family, the Silvers family, and especially Tracy Stewart, that y'all are all in my prayers. I think about y'all daily. I know it's hard on them, and it's been hard on me, very hard on me. And I do want to say something about the post that you just read out. My past indiscretions has nothing to do with this investigation, because what I did in my past is my past, and I have messed up, and just like everybody else has. Nobody's perfect.
Thank you very much, Heather. I appreciate it. You have a nice day, and again, we hope that emotionally you can continue to try to deal with this. We know it's a struggle. Thank you very much. We got to go.
Okay.
All right, folks, before we leave
Thank you.
You're welcome. Before we leave the show, I just want to say this quickly. Okay, now, we will invite, we did not today, we will invite Towns County Sheriff Chris Clinton. When you mention somebody's name, it's only fair, and give him an opportunity to discuss. Now, he has chose other medium. His accusations that we're fake news is that he says he will never speak to us and that we're mad. We're not angry. We will give him the opportunity to speak, but he actually has used other media where he could say what he wants and not be challenged by that. And so we are going to welcome him on, and we're going to try to do that this week. We're going to send out, because we're going to do another segment. I'm not editorializing this today. I do think the Towns County Sheriff's Office does need to respond. And were you able to pull that? All right, I want to show you something, okay? And it's on a Facebook page, and then I'm going to explain it to you. Go ahead and play that for me. Okay, can they hear me? This is on Sheriff Chris Clinton's Facebook page, okay? This morning, this is on there. Now, as you can see, the post is from Crystal Clinton, which is his wife. Do you see that calendar? 9 a.m. start work, 6 p.m. finish work, 9 a.m. start work, all the way down through there? You see that? Okay, let me tell you what I think that is. Now, scroll down. I'm going to explain. Scroll down. Can you scroll down? Open up those. There it is. Now, no. Can you get the two messages under there? There's two replies. Yes, Crystal Clinton right there underneath the gift that's scrolling. Okay, you see Crystal Clinton sent a message back. Welcome, yes, I wish that more than anyone, I was poking fun. Now look at that right there. I was poking fun, an inside joke. That happens, I'm not making an accusation, but that happens to be a calendar sliding by. Here's what my thought is at FetchYourNews.com is the inside joke, okay? We have asked here on FetchYourNews.com, we did an open records request for, and keep that scrolling across, we did an open records request for Sheriff Chris Clinton's calendar because we want to look at some things on his calendar. So we asked for his calendar. Ms. Webb, in reference to your open records request, the office of the sheriff does not maintain a calendar for the sheriff. The sheriff's wife, which that's her name that made this post, Crystal, the sheriff's wife, maintains a family calendar that the sheriff appears on. The sheriff is the only person who can provide the information requested. It is estimated that the request would require 91.25 hours of the sheriff's time at the sheriff's hourly rate, okay, to perform the task. The estimate is based on retrieval and printing and redacting and scanning. There are an estimated 365 pages of material to be printed at 10 cents a page. The bottom line is, do you know what the sheriff, scroll up a little bit where they can see the scrolling calendar for a joke from the sheriff. Do you know how much they said if we would like to have the sheriff's calendar to look at? $709.93. So if I have $709.93, I can look at the sheriff's calendar, or they can make somewhat a joke that I think might be targeted at us, maybe on Facebook. That's what we're dealing with, trying to get through this investigation. That's why he won't speak to us. We'll give him a chance, we promise. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back tomorrow morning, right here, 8 a.m. Now, wait, go to Facebook, Team FYN Sports, to get ready for the best sports show in North Georgia.